Yo, what's going on? This is AJ Volucio coming at you with the astrological check-in. And today we're joined with TonOfVision, or Zay Quarter. And yeah, there he is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're just coming off of that Moon Pluto conjunction like the past couple days. And really that was like getting into like not really your swamp, so to say, but like the things that which like made your swamp. So like the mind frames that you would have that would like correlate to like different like scorpionic things you would be like attached to. So like the whole like fixed energy going on with the Sun in Taurus and Venus in Taurus squaring to a Moon and Pluto
Mm,
in Aquarius. It's like
yeah.
checking to see like what you got in the furnace, so to say. And like what has been like placing like your chess piece boards. Like
Do you even want it?
yeah, like seeing like what the charge is for it. So like what's burning in the furnace type of energy.
I would agree as well as I think even shifting into this Pisces moon that we have right now, I see it as like you're now able to look at the pieces that you have on the chessboard, but also look at the pieces of the environment that you're engaging with. Meaning when you pass through the Aquarius Pluto or the Aquarius moon, you're still getting that hard reality check that there's people just like you, but they have different biases than you, or they don't have any biases at all in relation to what you have going on. So you're not safe to be rooted in such a bias and to be spewing basically uneducated or unexperienced dispositions, and you're just sending out instead your projections of what you would forecast. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And you're being reminded of that by your ability to connect the events that has happened and the events that hasn't happened based on you being in that yod between Aquarius and Virgo with the Juno and Lilith down there, and then the um Aquarius moon and Pluto. You're being reminded of, I feel like I'm supposed to have this network or this access to this resource so I can have this supporting cast. I can be the sun with the 11 stars type of shit, but I'm XYZ. I'm XYZ. You know what I mean? And then that is giving us that square relationship between the sun and that Aquarius energy of, well, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like how am I supposed to stabilize something? What I was talking about, it was like it was an uprooting of Holy Land in the sense of, I'm only using their terminology in the sense of like political events just to string it to worldly energies and worldly representations. But this is you being reminded that no matter what faces or facets you choose to develop about yourself, you still have a root foundation, which is the space that you take up in this form that you always will come back to. And what this looks like is you realizing that that is your safety net of what to always invest in when you have nothing, when you lose, when you don't have hope, when you don't have, you know what I mean, when you don't know what is the next move. We're being reminded of what is that foundational layer. Hence why I say the uprooting of the holy war, because this is about you either reinforcing or putting a new name or restoring an old name, whatever the fuck you are doing in your own set of cycles, your own narrative, back onto who this vessel is. Some of us are going deeper into a drift. Some of us, but basically, you got what I was about to say. Some of us are going up, yada yada yada. But this whole situation is basically just a closing cycle that is giving us a fresh new start to make our next move our best move. And that's going to be based on what we see as our Scorpio to Taurus spectrum that we're being downloaded right now, of how are we at discerning the values that we're connected to, that scorpionic signature you're talking about, the values that we're connected to, that we decide to give our character, our youth to, as a form of bringing things down to earth. This is where I spend my time. This is what I put my money towards. This is what I put my attention towards. This is what you get what I mean? This is where we're really reflecting on what these things mean to us on a deeper level through the rigmarole that I just went through.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that you say this is like the like this is us closing out something and like finding out what our best move is. because I
Right.
haven't seen this time as like a clearing space kind of thing, and just like seeing what like I want to say like seeing what actually matters to you, but more so in the sense of like even if you're doing something that you think don't matter, it's like just shifting the perspective into like making it to be like
And
something that could serve you as well. You know what I
I
mean?
think that comes from you not respecting that other people are gonna have the right and ability to pay attention to what they pay attention to. At the end of the day, you cannot ever control what a person does with their Mars energy. You know what I mean? Their Venus, you can't do it, and you can try to, but you're not gonna be very effective at it. And so I say that to say that once you start to develop that perspective of just leaving shit alone and taking it as information to now get creative with and do something else, you know what I mean? To stay afloat, to stay on your flight path, to stay on your train of course, I think that's when you start to unlock a facet of yourself that's a lot more, I guess, accountable for showing up as the side of you that cares about your craft because you're not expecting anyone else to care about it anymore. You're like, fuck it, I'm doing this shit because this is me. This is where I want my seeds to grow. I don't know what's gonna be around me at the end. I don't know what everything is in such like a shaky energy as far as like um worldly levels, social levels, socioeconomic levels, even down to like inner person. But I like the in real life. I really like this energy how it's playing off. Fuck social media for a second. In real life, in my world, I'm seeing a lot of people that are a lot more willing to, like I said, individualize their concepts, meaning be what they think they another person should be what they think should be in the world. I'm like seeing it more. And then this is where you just take people as they are and you realize that you're not some, it's like a pick your battle moment kind of thing. We're kind of getting like a pretense to Gemini season. And which battle are you even going to entertain going into Cancer season? What you even choose to be around is where your dictations and dispositions are going to be deriving from. That's the Gemini, the Cancer kind of theme, you know? And shit, we got the fucking what you call it? We still got Neptune. Peace Builders is talking about this. We still got Neptune and Pisces, and we got Mars moving over to Aries, I believe. Yeah, that is the 1 degree
Yeah.
Aries, and then Venus is in Taurus. So these are exaltations. You know what I mean? And not only are these exaltations, these are the initiating. Like, oh, I guess that's what an exaltation means. I'm thinking of just like a
The home spaces.
yeah, yeah, you know. Oh, I'm saying the words wrong. They're home, not exalted.
Yeah. Mars is home
Gotcha.
and Venus is home.
Will you explain that, like in your own, or just in verbiage? You know.
Yeah. Well, Venus exalted would be in Pisces. That's just like whenever it could like be like totally doing what it wants to do. So it's like
Oh, no
I see
restraint.
it as like Venus and Pisces, like
Oh,
there's no like bounds to like what Venus could do. So it could do
because
anything, it could connect to anything. Whereas
yeah,
Taurus is like it's more so is there to be like satiated and like be pleased by the senses and things like that. But it's
yeah,
still like rooted. It's still like stagnant somewhere. But like
bro.
it could be
That makes sense.
fueling
I'm
of
peeping
energy
that
though.
Venus. I'm peeping that Venus and Mars have the same opposites, meaning like Libra opposite Aries is Libra being a Venus signature, and then Scorpio opposite Taurus is Scorpio being a Martian signature. You feel me? But
Yeah.
what I'm also peeping is it's just the night and day. So there's no limit when it's internal. You know what I mean? Sunset in Scorpio being night, you feel me? Versus Aries and Taurus being morning. So it's like one is an outward thing. It's like giving birth to something outward, and then one is more like an internal. It's a feminine reaction.
Oh, okay. You talking about like in the evening time it would be like more of a feminine reaction. And then
Yeah,
the
yeah. But I think about that as well though is we know Libra to be um we know Libra to be masculine, and I
right.
think that makes sense because it's the nighttime to the feminine energy, so it's like double negatives type of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So that would be to put it in like people terms, that would be like a real manly woman or something.
Type of shit, or like assertive woman, yeah. But yeah, you said it right. You said it right. I
And
was
then it's
just getting
crazy
off.
too. how like this is what you pointed out, but like it goes like Mars, Venus at the start of the day, and then at the end of the day, Venus, Mars.
Yeah,
So it's like,
the lens got flipped.
yeah.
Some real fucking shit.
And then really too, after that, in like the first half, like Mercury takes over. So it's more so
Bruh,
like spreading the information of like what you just started in the morning. And then in the nighttime, that's when Jupiter takes over, be like, okay, what did we learn? What how can we
bro,
apply all this stuff that we gathered?
yeah, the same shit. I was about to say the mutable signs. The same shit is happening with that shit. Bro, I just made a video about that. I swear to God.
Bro.
I swear to God, I just haven't posted it yet. But yeah, it's just talking about how it goes from the the peer here one is in action and one is in hypothetical. So Jupiter in Pisces is more based like all right, let me rephrase this. One is based off of what you envision, Sagittarius. One is off of what you feel. One is off of what you've experienced, Virgo. One is off of what you think, Gemini. So Sag and Gemini are very up here, and then Virgo and Pisces are very down here. It's what I've done or what I'm feeling,
Yeah.
like what I'm doing or what I'm feeling. You feel me? Versus this is what I'm pondering and what I'm speculating on. But that's the yin and yang of the same type of shit that the Mars, like the Mars and Venus just did, except that's on the mutable cross
Yeah.
instead of the yoke. So, is there any other cross like that that's being made, or are we thinking a cross is a mutable signature? What's
Oh,
Uranus is in no Uranus and Neptune make a yo too, don't they?
you talking about in alignment right now? Or
No. They're exaltations in homes.
oh,
Because
Uranus would be Aquarius
Neptune and
and then
Uranus are
Neptune
kind of like
Pisces.
Uranus, Aqua, Neptune, Pisces. What's the other ones? What's the exaltations of those? Cancer is
They say
Neptune or not?
I've heard Neptune is Leo. That's where it's
Yeah,
exalted.
that's
And
what I was
then
saying.
I've heard too that Uranus is exalted in Gemini, so making a sextile.
Huh. Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a unique thing to the mutable cross then between that Virgo and or Mercury and Gemini. I'm Mercury and Jupiter.
Yeah. Because I heard too
But
like Mercury and Jupiter is like the connections of like higher minds to lower minds, which is what you
right.
described. Like being up here with the Jupiter and like being down here
Yeah.
with the Mercury.
No, that's real shit. I fucking switched to J's, putting down tobacco. This shit brand new to me. My bad.
Are you good?
Bro, I'm about to fly out to Georgia tomorrow. Well, I'm about to fly out to Georgia tomorrow, and we're basically planning on treating this shit. Uh, Here, hold on. I'm getting a call. Right.
All right.
No, I'm not going nowhere. I just had to
Oh,
send them
okay,
to the.
okay.
Yeah, hell no. I have like the preset messages. But anyways, we're going to Georgia, and we got basically, if you're watching this in the replay, we got people just like me and AJ in their own light. Just tribe, no tribe, going to a basically a creative retreat where we intend to put together what is going to be basically a pilot of a reality TV show based on what you're seeing right now, plus our artistic abilities. So I had to give that quick little midway commercial.
Yeah,
Stick
yeah.
around, subscribe to both our channels. You're gonna see content about this shit.
Yeah, shouts out each one teach one. Dave B.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Dave B. Shout out Mooney Mercury. Shout out Mello. Shout out Jackie New. Shout out V. Um, if I left you off, shout out Lyra. We had a whole season 2 already go by, so we got a whole roster of names. I'm not gonna, you know, right now, but you know who you are.
Hell yeah.
But damn, I've been really focusing on KPIs lately. So you know how KPIs are used in business, what that term means?
No, I don't. Oh, you said key point. What was it?
Performance indicator.
Okay, key performance indicator. Yeah.
But basically, in layman's terms, this is how they are able to tell what is actually happening in the company. So, like, if you're if you're getting a whole bunch of data that is not cross-referenceable, like you can't cross-reference them on each other, it's just scattered points, but what does it mean kind of shit, you have bad KPIs. And this is kind of when you don't understand the tools that you're using. You don't understand the KPIs. You don't understand what is the physical thing that is actually making this thing happen and move and be a thing to experience, aka the ritual. You don't understand what it actually was, so you're not able to extract the actual information. So I've been looking at things like KPIs, like even language, for example, with the same letters but different language. Take Spanish. You know how G is like the last name Guido, or Guido. It's like Guido. Guido.
Yeah.
You like tuck your fucking
Yep.
bottom lip. Yeah. So that's how it's done in that language. That's how a G is done because the KPIs are the jaw because it's binary. Y'all like the language is rooted in masculine and feminine, and a lot of their shit is based on how the wind is being directed by the jaw, whereas English is more androgynous based on the tongue. Like it is Latin, it is off the tongue, but that's where the enunciations on these different letters will be different. The like you get what I mean? Like the like the like
Yeah.
it's a air, it's more of like an air thing. I
Yeah.
mean, there's different KPIs and whatnot, but you got to think this is where they're doing different. They're prioritizing different organs and different structures, different pieces of the structure based on the geographical function of the land. And
Would you say,
it's
my bad to cut you off, but would you say English is like more constricted, like more like and like the airflow of it?
I, honestly, I won't even try to put a rule on it. This is something that I'm learning as a Sagittarius right now. Is that you don't even need a rule to perceive something. We just know that there's something different about them, and so you'll start to see when and where to do it. You know what I mean? Which like this is why certain languages won't have words for the other language because they're not even observing the same space within space. So there's going to be those random ones that are just nuanced to this space. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm.
Because I don't really I wouldn't say either or are constricting. I mean, one is stuck in binary. You know what I mean? It's and then the other one not stuck in binary, but like there's a format within that versus the other is five pillars, the vowels.
Okay. Yeah, bro. You
Not the
know
same.
something I noticed too? Like
Yeah.
whenever you speak, like the vowels, they always travel farther than you can the consonants. Like if you're trying to be loud, like you emphasize like the vowel part of whatever word you're saying. And like you could even
B.
in like drill instructors and like the military
Oh,
and shit, they only be like
yeah.
left, right. They just be like left, right. Like you hear the
That's
vowel like reverberate more and shit.
that's why Dolo says consonance dissonance because it's cognitive dissonance. Because when you put consonants in, you're giving it a direction. You're like pulling the lever on the train track. So it's like owl,
Mm.
apple, asshole. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really like carving it out like to yeah,
Real shit.
yeah.
We roll a doobie. Take your flight. My explanation of this again. Shout out fucking Dolo. My explanation of this ritual is honestly, it would be the same shit. It would just be the same shit. The smoke going and touching the little corners, the little crevices. To me, this is me leaking out into different potentialities in my mind that I've been otherwise constricted due to the Virgoistic contracts I've signed based on desire and wanting to mutably change this earth realm through other earth measures. When I'm smoking, I'm alleviated from those. And then that's the anxiety that people will get is because they are not willing to do what they're into now. So now they're just getting shell shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And that's like a fucked up Aquarius right there. Cause I be saying that, or I just
Yeah, real shit. Real
like
shit.
because a great Aquarius is like your greatest shock, so to say. And like
That's your
that's
mindset,
whatever
bro.
that's what you like construct your mind around, and that's where you like point to things in your life and like see how to like
Yeah.
things relate to each other and things like that.
Cornucopia, water bear, where you aim the open
Oh,
mouth of the cornucopia. You're right.
bro, cause like having like that fixed shit, like fixed in a way, like that'll keep you fixed, you know? It ain't
Yeah.
and like that's what was like showing up to me for me in like this past moon Pluto conjunction, just like different like ideas like I would hold up and shit that like I don't necessarily need to like hold up, but it's just like something that like I would like
Just to perceive.
yeah, and just like be like, oh, it would be like an idea like somebody would say, and I'd be like, okay, that's cool. And like I like the way that sounds, and like I'll just tack it on, and like
Yeah.
later on, like in life,
No,
I'll do something, and
and
like that idea
that's
will
what I was
come
saying.
back.
Like that's what I was saying. You don't have to have a judgment per se. There doesn't need to be a rule. It's just a thing, and then you see if that thing pops up again. You know what I mean? But and then you see how it pops up, and you decide if you want it to pop up again or not. You know,
Yeah,
it's just alchemy at the end of the day. We already know this, bro. Some of my majority of the readings I give, the best part of the readings don't even be their actual placements. It just be me talking about how to just look at astrology.
yeah. One time I gave a
Like, and I,
reading.
what I'm grading is I'm not saying that my reading is bad. I'm saying that that be what has the most impact in real time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And like, duh, it's the foundation. But I just say that because you could really take the shit a long way just by understanding why that chart is even set up the way that that chart is set up, without trying to get into the ego of what our placements are. Why did we all agree that that's a good mathematic?
but
Like, what are the KPIs on this chart right now? You feel me? We got houses. And if I had to ask you, AJ, if you had to guess, what would be the top layer and what would be the bottom layer if we had to think of densities? What are you gonna? What's the order? What are you thinking? Is top layer and bottom layer looking at this chart on the realm of we have houses, we have planets, we have zodiac signs, three layers.
damn, I was already thinking, my bad. What'd you say? What was the layers?
I mean, houses, zodiac signs, and planets placements.
Which one is like the most KPI? Or
No, not most KPI. Kind of, you can think about it like that, but I'm more so saying, what do you think is the most superficial layer, the most top layer, and then the most foundational layer?
oh, okay.
So kind of like what you said, but I just want to say that to reiterate exactly what I'm aiming at.
I wouldn't necessarily say like one point, so to say. It's just how you would use like whatever point you're looking at. Because I could say like the something like is most like bottom layer or like has more depth to it, being like the Venus Pluto square. But then in the next breath, I could say like if you're using it in a way that's like running away from that deep thing, then it would be like more like sensual and like satiating the senses and things like that. So that would be like more superficial in that sense because you like running away from like whatever swampy nature you kind of.
I'm more so mean in just in theory. Like, where did they have to start with this? They didn't start this whole practice with identifying a planet first. You feel me?
Oh, okay.
Like this was a study of spaces and a study of relation to spaces. Whether they did pick a thing first or not, it could have you mean like correlating it with the sun, for example. But what I'm saying is the common denominator is the houses. Like my chart and your chart, the thing that keeps it in common first and foremost is the house format, in the sense of the houses are where the signs derive out of, and then the signs are where the planets derive of. This is some shit I guarantee you I've heard Dolo say this shit in like a 2 to 3 year old video. But the houses basically is where we start to get this sensation of where characters play a certain stage. What is the gradient? So that's the foundational piece. The personalization is that's why I say the top layer. It's like the face of it. You feel me? Because like you said, that's where the shit can get a little bit more usable when or fluctuating when it just depends on a certain alignment that's there or not, and how you choose to use it. But you started with alignment. And then I would say that the house, though, is really how you put that alignment in proper context. Otherwise, you might be doing just like backwards witchcraft on yourself when you don't need to be, because you be forcing it in like different you trying to shoot every play type of shit.
You're in like the 10th house trying to do something, fifth house.
Yeah, type of shit. But you ain't. It's not that you can't do that, but you ain't acknowledge what is going on first to know how to do that. So you're just trying to blindly hope it worked for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And I
Like
don't say
the
that to
houses
say
too. Like,
that that brings me to a point where you don't got to put everything to a fucking word. You once you feel it and see it, you know it. You know that was the first language. But you were about to say,
oh yeah, because the houses is just like the 360, just like what's around you. And like
right,
the
right. And what I just said right now too, the piece of once you see it, you know it. You don't have to put it in the words. That's exactly what we're talking about with the fucking houses and planets. The houses, I just saw it in my 360.
right.
Now, if I want to put it into my planet, if I want to plan it and include someone, then I'll put it into bio so I can have
Yeah.
someone else balance it out.
You said ball.
Yeah, Taurus. That's the only
Yeah.
time you put it out is if it's something that you want to accumulate on, like in into this language type of shit. You want to. We're exchanging awareness right now. I'm pointing your mind somewhere. You're pointing my mind somewhere, and then we're recording this and pointing viewers' minds somewhere. So this is about like that's why we're using this language. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if I didn't want to do that very thing, I would just shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Because that's
that's the
all
only
like
time you ever.
anything really is like just mapping and like how good you are
Yeah,
at mapping shit. Really, because
exactly.
that's how I've been
And
looking
that's
at
why
even really lately. Even like
you
music
said
and shit,
what?
like I'll be listening to it like it's like the Bible or something. Just like just like taking like the even if they didn't mean it in an esoteric way, just like taking whatever they
Yeah.
say in an esoteric way and be like, oh, okay, I can see how that plays out in like whatever situation they're talking about.
Well, that's exactly how you pinpoint a spirit. It's just by being a good listener. Because it doesn't matter what you want to say, you're gonna always say what you mean. You're gonna always do what you feel.
Right.
That's why like the person that just seems to be always fucking up and always is a fuck up is because they fuck up once behind closed doors. And it might not even be something that you really can fuck up in. It's just they've convinced themselves, you know, how the shit go. Loop to loops on loop to loops. But I just say that to give grace to whoever might have called it straight right there, you know what I mean? But um yeah, no, you just that I keep it going. Keep
Yeah.
things in a KPI of your own dictation, which is your body.
Marcus, sometimes like
Because when you speak, oh my bad.
uh I was just adding on to that mapping point, and you can say what you're gonna say. But like sometimes like I'll like be making art and shit, and like, I don't even know like what feeling it is that like I'm trying to encapsulate. I'm just like letting that thing like guide like my whatever I'm using, like my pen or like my some oil pastels or something. And just like looking at it afterwards and be like, damn, what the fuck was I just in? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
no, like I want to move like this way. Like that's what comes out. And like sometimes I don't even know what it is afterwards. It's just like, okay, well, that was there. Or I don't know like logically what it is like afterwards. But like,
you just kept it contained to where it was, type of shit.
yeah, just like, okay, I know that's there. And like
Yeah.
put something there. Like, so I know when I come back to that, it'll be like a reference point, so to say. Like maybe I'll think of that
That's just
thing,
what I just did
get
with a
to that
song.
emotion.
Right before you called me, that's what I just did with the song. I stopped writing it just because I hit a spot where I was like, oh, all right, I'll come back once I get more orb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I was about to say is going back to the point of why we even talk. You got to think of why Mercury comes after the sun and the moon. Is now we're going from our values moon, where it can do whatever it wants. I'm showing you how I feel. This is my best way to show you where my emotions are. Um, and so Gemini's whole purpose is your ability to create the environment that you wish to see. So through your ability of choice, through your ability of communication in rationalization, where rationalization kind of comes in once you get into Cancer territory. But anyway, you're projecting your ideas so that you can have it bounce back to you. So this is why we have verses like "Don't cast pigs among swine," because when you speak to people that don't understand how to catch and reverberate your frequency and your energy and your attention and your love and your care and whatever the fuck your aim is with this space, then you are losing the feedback response. And if you don't understand that that's what's going on, this will be perceived as potentially perceived as a loss of value, a questioning of worth. Damn, was that a good idea? That's damn near always what happens, in my opinion. Like, damn, was that a good idea? Or you could. There's just a whole bunch of little hot potato pop offs that you might do train of thought wise. If you get in that first one, I don't like this, then you might be like, damn, is this person judging me? Is this person stupid? Like, you know what I mean? It's just you really need to realize why we even speak in the first place, why we even share shit in the first place, and who we share what with in the first place, based on the initial door that we walked into to be around said person, said noun, said verb. That way we understand how to respect that relationship properly. You know, if I have a set amount of reasons logically and emotionally of why I do this hobby versus why I do this job, a person I meet in there, unless I can establish a space that has the same values as the hobby space, I should only have the moralities that I've developed in the doorway of walking through to my job. Otherwise, it's gonna get to black, like it's gonna conflate orbs. You know what I mean? Conflate worlds that have no business being apart to each other. That's a stupid example, but I hope you get what I mean in the sense of you each space that you walk in was a decision. So the minute that you start being incompatible with that, you start to be incompatible with that based on what you have on your mind and where you have your values shifted to or cast to, you know. And this is why, like, bro, I'm about to expose Leo risings. We have Taurus in the 10th house. Despite that supposing to be a solid placement, because it's Earth and Earth, the way that shit could also play out is if you're watching too much status watch, like you're following the money type of shit, you're not following who's actually making what happen, you're following who's the face card of the shit, your character is up for grabs. You having so many tower moments. So many tower moments. Cause it's like you'll be firsthand front to the show that gives things status. You have values into the things that give status, but then it'll be remixed or re-rocked by something that you haven't went out of your way to present yourself and be the character yourself of. And then you try to like fan or poster for someone else, and your character could just get slaughtered at that point because you don't have your own values. So whatever that thing is that you're using to represent that value can get taken away from you off rip. So despite that seeming like it's supposed to be a good energy, having a earth and a sign in the earth house, that shit can be shaky if you don't have proper Scorpio energies.
Yeah.
Who do you what is your mindset attached to? What is the space of your mindset or your mind rather?
Yeah, that was just what I was about to say too. Like for a person to be looking at that kind of thing, it was like just wanting to be in that space. Like where was their fourth house at to be like wanting to like discard whatever they would want to like put
It
in
was
that purpose
Scorpio.
for themselves. Like
It's Scorpio. They're
get
just
that
trying to
type of thing.
transform. That's it. I just want to it's cancer shit. Fourth, I just want to you know what I mean? I just want us all to be the same. I want us all to dedicate and connect. And fuck
Yeah.
y'all if we can't. We be Drake's low key.
Theo Risings. Man.
Not I know that that's in reference to the Drakeo allegory, but I'm talking about Drake the rapper.
Oh, man. Oh, we got 2 minutes left on the meeting.
Hell yeah, bro. I think this is a good ass video. I think we got some good shit down. But do you wanna do the outro?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, thanks y'all for tuning in. And if you want to get connected with TonOfVision and get some readings from him, his links will be in the description. And if you want to get connected with me, I have links in the description as well. And thank y'all for watching. Peace.